name is A.O. Wesley, and I am a strength coach / personal trainer.
Can you tell me what your day-to-day life looks like in your career as a trainer?
So really a regular day for me when it comes to just training, besides school and stuff, because I'm still in school. I guess usually I'll end up training on a slow day I'll train like 1 or 2 people. On a really heavy day I'll train close to 6 or 7. But usually I end up training 3 to 4 people, intermittently throughout the week. It's cool because I get to kind of schedule my own clients. I get to kind of choose where I want to work and when I want to work. I train in here, my garage, but I also train over at the university gym, the Strong Thermos Wellness Center, as well as the Blatt Physical Education Center. So really, I guess a regular training session would just look like we go through. Usually the client has already been given a program to follow by me. I make one for them themselves. I program it over a certain amount of time, and then over the course of several weeks or months, we will follow that program. We'll track their progress. I'll be there to facilitate that they do movements correctly, and basically kind of check up on them, check up on their life, make sure that they're doing all right and that they are doing everything that they need to do outside of the gym and as well as in the gym. I focus a lot on kind of the specific movements that people need to go through, whether it's sport specific or if they have certain fitness related goals to either lose weight or get stronger, prepare for a competition, get ready for the game season, whatever they need to do. My job is to help them get stronger for that.
Okay. And can you tell me what makes your job fun?
Ooh, there's a lot of things about my job that make it fun. Obviously I love being in the gym. I love teaching people how to move. And it's really neat to see that kind of switch in their head. It's a gradual process. Nobody learns how to move perfectly overnight. And nobody has perfect biomechanics. And, it's kind of a thing that you have to work on a lot over time. But there's always a moment where somebody just gets it and they understand, like, hey, this is what I need to do, or this is how I move, or I can do this. And, it's kind of giving people the capability, or not giving them, but helping them realize their capability and their just innate ability to do things. And so teaching people how to move and getting them to be stronger is very empowering, both literally and, not literally. What's the word I'm looking for? Figuratively. Yeah. I'm not an English major. I am an exercise science major.
And why are biomechanics and bioenergetics important for how you do your job? Why can't I go in and just train someone?
Oh, well, see, the thing is that you could get certified and you could just go start training people if you wanted to. It's very easy to get certified. It is not easy to be a good trainer. What differentiates me, from other people is my education and my understanding of bioenergetics and biomechanics and other things that go into it as well. Just general anatomy and physiology. I've taken a lot of general sciences like physics or biology or chemistry, things like that, just to understand and combine, this collective of ideas to put it into teaching people how to move. So as far as I understand, you guys are talking about force and physics and whatnot. So basically this is the understanding that the body moves, and this is the study of how it moves and why it moves. So first thing I want to talk about were the different planes and axes about which we rotate and move through. So I'm just going to go through those one by one, as seen by my horrible drawing. So the first thing we have is the sagittal plane, kind of running through the middle of our man right here. It's going to divide our body into left and right halves. It's like a piece of cardboard running down the middle of our body, shooting out either way. Basically, we rotate about this medial lateral axis that goes through our hips, and so because we're in this plane, we can move through that plane forward and back about this axis that runs through. It's almost like if you had taken a pole and you're moving over and around that pole without moving it. So, next up we have the frontal plane, also known as the coronal plane. That one divides your body into front and back halves. The anterior-posterior axis runs through that plane, and basically that is like a pole running through your belly button. So since the plane divides us this way, and we have cardboard running this way, and we have the pole going through our belly button, we rotate side to side, and that's how we move. That's moving your arm up and through like that on your sides. So that's the frontal plane. And the last plane that we have is the transverse plane, and that moves about the longitudinal or polar axis. The transverse plane divides our body into top and half pieces. Basically, you can think about a piece of cardboard if you were wearing it like a skirt, or if you had it running straight through your body like that. It runs through this way. The axis that we rotate about for that kind of runs through our head and down through our feet. So if I was standing like this, I could rotate in this direction, as if I was moving about a pole that was running through me. So, those are the axes and planes through which you move. Going forward from there, kind of a simple introduction to how people produce force can be described in 3 separate types of movements. We have concentric, eccentric, and isometric movements. Concentric movements, as you can see by the force versus resistance diagram right here, concentric is when we are able to produce enough force to overcome the resistance that we are exerting against. These are kind of what you see in the gym all the time. That's where you see a guy doing some bicep curls, or you see a guy doing some squats, or he's pushing up on the bench press. Concentric is what most people are familiar with when they go to the gym. Eccentric can kind of be thought of as that downward portion of a movement, or the lowering phase of like a squat or a bench or a deadlift. Basically what's happening here is the resistance is overcoming the force production done by our own body. So these can be really useful for muscle building. You can produce actually upwards of 40% more force in an eccentric pull than you can in a concentric. Weird enough, it's a lot of science that goes into it I won't go into right now. So that's really interesting about eccentrics. They're very useful for building strength and muscle. Isometrics are interesting because that is a point at which the force and the resistance remain the same. So that's something like holding a plank, or holding a curl in the same spot, or holding a squat in one spot without moving the entire time, or for a certain amount of time. Basically, those are really important for being able to work on certain positions in different movements and being able to become stronger within a certain range of motion that somebody moves through. So those are your different types of forces that you produce throughout movements, or the 3 main ones anyway. These are the planes that you move through. So if you're interested in this stuff, or even if you aren't, I highly recommend, becoming involved with a sport, becoming involved with any kind of fitness endeavor. There's a lot of things. There's a mail truck outside. I apologize. There's a lot of things that you can become involved with. One of my favorite things about strength in general is that there's a whole sport devoted to it. It's the sport of strength. There's weightlifting, there's powerlifting, there's strongman, there's bodybuilding, things like that, and it's not exclusive to whether you're a boy or a girl, how old you are, what your physical capabilities are right now. Literally anybody can do the sport that they love and want to become involved with. So if you're interested in it, learn about it. Get involved, put your heart into it, and really kind of try to invest yourself fully into understanding strength, understanding fitness and wellness, and understanding, if you would like to teach, how to communicate these things to other people and how to teach them the same things that you will come to learn as you grow through your academic career and onwards.